Welcome to Cavs Daily, the authority of Cavalier basketball, and truly the one-stop shop where you can get any type of news, updates, transactions, whatever it is, any type of information on the Cavaliers and on the NBA. If it's going on in the hoops world, we're talking about it. We'll also touch in on guys like our Cleveland Guardians, the Cleveland Browns. We love sports. We love Cleveland. We definitely love the Cavaliers. So if you're into any of those things, we'd love for you to join me on this ride as we count down the days until the season starts and the Cavs start taking their steps in the direction of the championship they will win in 2026. Now, my name is Paul Williams. I don't know if I said that, why I was going on that tangent for about 28 seconds, but I'm Paul Williams. I'm the host of Cavs Daily. Appreciate you guys being back with me here today. Excited to get started as we're just going to jump right into it, fellas and ladies. We are now done with training camp, which means it's time for basketball, baby. Like real hardwood teams with different jerseys on going at it, basketball. It begins tonight, the night this video will be dropping. The Cavs will be playing the Chicago Bulls. We're going to preview that and some more, but we're going to start off first with just a few things that came out of training camp, which has wrapped up officially. The guys are back from IMG Academy, where they spent the last week going through their building process, getting ready for the season, and there's a lot of different rumblings and tidbits of information coming out throughout training camp. It seems like there's a lot of positive stuff, some interesting stuff, some funny stuff. Like they have these what they call shooting goggles that Luke Travers, I guess, really loves, and he's been using them a lot. But you put on these goggles and you take shots, usually 3-point shots, and it goes black as soon as you take the shot. And you're supposed to give feedback on what you see. How did it feel? Is it going to be short? Is it going to be long? Just try to get that type of information and dig into, I guess, the genuine feel that you have for your jump shot without even having to see the results or where it's going, the trajectory, anything like that. So that was kind of interesting. It's funny to think about certain guys shooting around in big black goggles. But yeah, the Cavs were trying that out, and Coach Atkinson just talked about he's willing to try and explore everything. If there's a way to get better, we're going to do that. And as far as shooting goes, he touched on the fact that everyone has different philosophies. You can ask 10 different coaches. They'll tell you 10 different ways that they think the proper way of shooting the ball should be. And it's really like a science and an art that it's never going to be perfected. So they're always going to be trying to work on it. And the Cavs are working on it, even though they were the most efficient shooting team last season. That's not enough. They definitely want to build on that and make sure that while they want to step their defense up, they don't want their offense to have to lack from that in any way, shape, or form. It seems like they're going to be running, well, they said verbatim, 90% of the offense we saw last season. So I don't think we're going to be reinventing the wheel or anything, but knowing Coach Atkinson and knowing the weapons we have on this team, we will see some new things. It's just the Cavs offense was so fluid and so efficient and ran so well last year. It's like, why change too much? Yeah, make adjustments. You can always get better. You can always show opponents different looks and different things. But at the end of the day, we had a great offense that we're just going to build on and not try to do too much to change, but always look to improve. As I have been screaming from the mountaintops, one of the superstars of training camp has been Lonzo Ball, which shouldn't be a shocker if you watch this show or if you're just a real hoop head, because you should know Lonzo Ball, yes, his injury history is his injury history. We can't change that. We can't take it away, and we're not going to try to. But if we're just talking pure basketball, if I was talking to my dad the other day, we were watching football, and we always bullcrap while we're watching the games, and we always talk about the Cavs. And Lonzo came up, and I was just like telling him these same things, and he said after hearing me talk about it so much, he started to think about it, and he can see it. But Lonzo Ball could truly be the missing piece to this championship puzzle in Cleveland. I know people have thrown out the Alex Caruso for Cleveland, and yes, he can be that, but like even more, his game and his skill set is so perfect for the Cavs roster, the players that he's going to have around him, and just the system that the Cavs already use. It's If Lonzo Ball is healthy, he's going to be one of the biggest additions in the NBA this season, period. Even though he is not a superstar, that's not what it's always about when you're already a very good team. You just have to sometimes build around the margins. And Lonzo Ball is a lottery ticket that if it hits and he stays healthy 60 games this season and is there in the playoffs, he will be in the running for Sixth Man of the Year. He will be talked about as maybe the most improved player in the year, and he'll be respected the way he should as someone that could be the best player coming off the bench in the NBA. Yes, period, point blank. He has that in him. He is a 6'5", 6'6" point guard, a pure point guard that can pass the ball with the best in the NBA. He's super unselfish, probably the most unselfish player in the NBA, but he can get his bucket if he needs to as well. He plays great defense. He's one of the best defenders on the wings. He could switch and guard different positions because of his length, his speed, athleticism, quickness. He has it, and what he brings is perfect for this Cavs team, and it shined through all through training camp, and all the rave reviews are coming about Lonzo, and now people are finally saying, dang, this adding Lonzo Ball is a big deal. Yeah, we lost Ty Jerome. Boo-hoo. Lonzo Ball on this team is 100 times better than Ty Jerome on this team. I promise you that. If he gets hurt, of course, yeah, that wouldn't be the case, I guess. But basketball-wise, Lonzo Ball is going to be so much better than the guy that couldn't even play by game 3 in the second round last season because he was getting exposed. We don't need a guy that sometimes gets hot and can make a lot of shots off the bench. We'll be okay. We have enough scores. We need a guy like Lonzo Ball, and we have that. And he had, from what everyone's saying, one of the best training camps of all Cavaliers. So that's obviously a great sign as well, something to be excited about. And the Cavs got off the court and spent some time together, just bonding, getting to know each other. They played some softball. They went out and did different things around the city. So all in all, it seemed like a great trip down to Florida for the Cavs for training camp. And now it's time to get to business. It is time to get on the court. And the Cavs will be doing that, like I said, tonight as they play the Chicago Bulls at home in the city, in the land. And it's very exciting. The last time we got to see these guys all on the court, it didn't feel good. And for any real Cavs fan, Cleveland fan, you know, you've been waiting for this. Like, it's time to get those get-backs. And while it won't matter until the playoffs, and we all know that whole mindset and how that is what it is for this Cavs team, still, it will be fun watching them in the regular season, seeing how they grow, seeing how they develop, if they could build on last year, maybe not as historic, but do different special things. It'll be a lot of fun, and we will be tuned in watching all along the way. As far as the preseason goes, we kick it off tonight against Chicago, bringing them in here to Cleveland, and then we fly out to Chicago to play the Bulls in Chicago on Thursday before flying to Boston to take on the Celtics, and then wrapping up the preseason next week on the 14th against Detroit here in Cleveland. So 4 games, and then it's 1 week kind of off period to really get ready, and then the season starts October 22nd in New York, which if you can look at that thing right there, right below what we're talking about now, we're going to be talking about that opener. But right now, we're going to talk about the preseason opener, which is the Bulls, who, if there's a team that you can truly just call mid and consider mid, it's the Chicago Bulls the last couple of years. They finished 39 and 43 the last two seasons. The season before that, they finished 40 and 42. They're pretty much penciled in to make the play-in every year. They're going to be like the 9th or 10th seed pretty much every season. And, yeah, that's just the Bulls. They did change things up a little bit last season, getting rid of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, bringing in Josh Giddey, and just kind of building around the young guys. But, I mean, they're still the Bulls. They have a few good pieces like Colby White and Josh Giddey and a few. They don't have many, like, I mean, Kevin Huerter's, guys like that. They have guys, but not many that most casual fans will know or most NBA teams will have to game plan around. They're just not a very good team, and they're not looking like they're going to be this season, but it's a preseason, so you never know what the final outcome will be. It'll still be a good test for the Cavs, and the Bulls do have a lot of young guys, so maybe they'll be all revved up and ready to go. And we play them back-to-back, so they'll have two games to try to get at the Cavs a little bit, maybe steal one in the preseason, because they know when the regular season comes, about to be. But yeah, the Bulls, they probably aren't someone we're going to be talking about much this season besides when we play them, because they're probably not going to be competing too much. I mean, they just don't have the pieces. They have guys like Patrick Williams, who was a high draft pick but just never really panned out. They liked him for a while. Now it seems like they're kind of hot and cold on him. They have our old friend Isaac Okoro. I mean, he'll bring a little defense to the team, which they could use, so not a bad addition. Desimu, I do like his game. He would be someone that I think would fit good on the Cavs. But none of those guys are really a difference maker, and the Cavs should have their way with the Bulls whenever they're playing their real guys. I'm guessing the starters, well, Kenny Smith, not the Jet, but Kenny Atkinson also alluded to the players playing, at least the starters playing probably 12 to 15 minutes in tonight's opener, maybe stretching that a little bit next game. But all the guys will be playing besides Darius Garland and Max Strus, who are still out with injury, obviously. Everyone else will be active and out there ready to go. I'll be excited to just get little hints on how they're at least debating to go with the rotation in the early season, especially with the point guard and small forward position with Strus and Garland out. Excited to see who they start, who's the first guys off the bench, which set of players they play together, to kind of get a feel if they'll be good players to put in during the regular season in different rotations, whether it's bringing two guys off the bench, maybe Lonzo and Larry Nance, and seeing how they mix in and play with Donovan and Evan and one more starter. Things of that nature. It'll be fun to kind of dissect that and get a hint. And then, of course, it's also always fun to watch our guys play basketball, as we just play a beautiful brand of basketball. They share the ball. They can score at will, it seems, at times. Cavalanches are a real thing that we're actually going to be talking about tomorrow. And, yeah, there's always stuff to watch for when you're talking about professional basketball, especially when it comes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, the team that will be the champions at the end of this season. So why not jump on the train right now before everyone else gets on? Dug it out with us through the preseason, through the training camp. Let's go through the trenches together, get through this season, and then celebrate in June. Now, we still have a little bit to go until we get to the regular season, but it's not that far off, as the Knicks will be hosting our Cleveland Cavaliers in just over 2 weeks, when the Cavs go to Madison Garden on October 22nd for NBA tip-off. And yeah, it's a primetime game. It's a huge deal, and it's a huge honor for the Cavs to be a team that's picked to participate on opening night, and they deserve it. Come on, let's be realistic. And we're going to whoop on the Knicks without one of our best players and one very important piece as well in Max Strus. No DG, no Max, no problem. The Cavs should handle the Knicks, but also, let me stop talking too crazy. The Knicks do seem pretty obviously our biggest competition in the East. They are a good team, but I think they get overrated a bit. They made one Eastern Conference final, so they made one extra step that the Cavs haven't got to. Don't think that's like that big of a difference to use it as a excuse on why you think one team's better than the other. If you just look at their brands of basketball, their situations, and their rosters, it's a good matchup. But I do think that the Cavs are, in my eyes at least, the superior team. I don't think October 22nd is like the end-all, be-all, and whoever wins that night is the best team. Like, we will see them again on Christmas, probably in the playoffs and other times during the regular season. So this is just the prelude to the big stuff as we get down the road and more into the season. But it is a good matchup with the Knicks. They made similar additions in the offseason. The Knicks made a few decent additions, adding not Jalen Brunson. They've had him for a while, if you didn't know. But Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz, the one-time Cavalier, just a bench spark, a scorer off the bench, doesn't really bring anything else to the table. And getting older, he's not the scorer he used to be, but could still probably score in bunches once in a while, which could be beneficial to the Knicks. They also brought in Gershon Yabusele, who I actually do like, from the Philadelphia 76ers. He had a great run in the FIBA tournament recently, and should be a decent piece off the bench for them. He's like our Thomas Bryant, basically. Both power forwards, both like energy, solid guys off the bench. And then they brought in Malcolm Brogdon as well, kind of like how we brought in Killian Hayes, but Malcolm Brogdon does have more of an NBA track record. One-time Sixth Man of the Year, hasn't been that player for a while, but still a decent pickup at this time of the season. So no knock on that. So yeah, the additions were pretty similar, honestly. I like adding Lonzo and Thomas Bryant more, though, overall. But the Knicks did do some decent things around the margins as well. Overall, I just think the Cavs match up better than the Knicks. I think Darius is, I guess Jalen Brunson would be their point guard, but I think Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell would be the comparison, and I think Donovan's better than him. I think Darius is better than OG Anunoby, even though they're slightly different players, and I do think Anunoby is solid. I think DeAndre Hunter and Mikal Bridges are a wash, just a complete wash. And I think depending on if the Knicks go big and bench Josh Hart to start Mitchell Robinson with Karl Anthony Towns, I think the Cavs have a better big man duo either way. Whether it's Karl Anthony Towns and Mitch Robinson, I'll take Evan Mobley and Jared Allen over that. Or if it's Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges at forward because they're going small and Towns at center, obviously I'm taking our bigs over their bigs. So I think we match up pretty well against them. Our benches, they have a decent bench. I think we have an elite bench, especially now, solidifying it with Lonzo coming off the bench and either Max Strus or DeAndre Hunter, Larry Nance, Thomas Bryant, Sam Merrill, knows Craig Porter, Tyrese Proctor, Jalen Tyson, my bad, another guy who stood out in training camp. We have a lot of weapons on the bench, so giving the bench advantage to the Cavs, and we have the coach of the year, respecting Mike Brown, who is the new coach for the New York Knicks, but he is a new coach. He did just get fired from Sacramento, and who knows? I don't know if the coach was the Knicks' problem, so advantage Cavs to me, but I'm so excited. I can't wait. We're almost there, guys. Just a few more weeks, And to wrap up today's show, Tyrese Proctor, rookie that the Cavs drafted a couple months ago in June, second round pick out of Duke. Played 3 years at Duke, had a solid career there. Uh, isn't like a huge scorer. He's more of a just balanced point guard, especially with all the talent he had around him at Duke. There was rumors he could have been a higher draft pick, but he shut it down and specifically wanted to come to Cleveland. He's a 6'5" point guard that can play defense as well. I mean, he's kind of built in the mold of Alonzo Ball. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully they're both healthy. But that 6'5" long point guard, he's kind of built in that mode. And who knows, he could be interesting, especially early in the season. If he has a good training camp, maybe he can get some time in the rotate, or not training camp, but preseason. He already had a good training camp. Now, if he has a good preseason, maybe he could get some time in the regular season, especially with Darius Garland being out early. He showed a lot in the summer league, averaging over 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Had a game where he dropped 35 on the Kings. So he showed that he can also score the ball. And I think he could be a 8 to 10 minute weapon earlier in the season, or when we're resting Lonzo throughout the year, because you have to think about that. Lonzo's not going to play in back-to-backs, at least early in the season. So there could be some minutes there for Proctor if he can step up and earn them. We all know it's tough for rookies to get playing time on a championship-level team. We saw that with Tyson last year, who is also fighting to get there and get in the mix. But Tyrese Proctor, we could see him on the court early in the season, and depending on how that goes, I think that will dictate if he gets some spot time later in the season. He's battling with Craig Porter Jr. and now Killian Hayes for that third point guard spot. It's tough. I mean, Hayes is now a vet. Porter's a young vet. And Proctor's just getting into the game. So might be a little tough, but the Cavs are high on him, and they signed him to a guaranteed contract. That doesn't happen with a lot of second rounders. So that says a lot as well. So Proctor could get some opportunities throughout the year. He's obviously not going to – if he's playing 20 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game, that probably means something went wrong for the Cavs, or else he just is the best rookie ever and burst onto the scene and we had no choice. But he could get spot minutes here and there and maybe earn himself some more important minutes down the road. That's just one thing we're going to have to watch this preseason and see. Let's see if Proctor could – still a role on the team. Let's see if Tyson is really ready to play the 7th or 8th man role off an NBA championship caliber team. Let's get some of these questions answered. Let's watch the preseason and talk about it tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that, and so on and so forth. Until then, I'm going to get out of here. This has been a long one. I missed you guys for a couple of days. I apologize. Won't happen again. You have my word. That's why I gave you a 23-minute today. Hope it was a banger for you. Also, LeBron announced doing the decision to... I can't believe I really read that on verified sources like Bleacher Report, but yeah. Let's see what that's going to be. I didn't want to speculate too much until we just see what it is, because we're the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're on our own championship destination right now. We don't have time for stuff like that. We'll figure it out once it gets here. And until tomorrow when we find out and I tell you all about it, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I really appreciate you tuning in with me.